What's good, YouTube? Mase back with another video, and we got a podcast, episode 2. Big Will is back in the building. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's Friday night, chilling like a
Good.
villain.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, it's been a little while, but I promise you guys we're going to get back consistent with the videos. One of the biggest things in the news right now is the Colin Kaepernick situation. All right, so one of the biggest topics in the news right now, we got the Colin Kaepernick situation. Recently, in an interview, Jim Harbaugh basically stated because there's been rumors about Colin Kaepernick joining the Chargers coaching staff this year in 2024. Jim Harbaugh basically shut that down, essentially saying that Kaepernick will not only not be on the team as a player, he's not going to be on the coaching staff. There's a news article by ESPN talking about Kaepernick's still willing desire to play in the NFL and that he's still in shape. So it's, of course, the correlation with Jim Harbaugh. Colin Kaepernick coached him 2011, 12, and 13 for the 49ers, went to a Super Bowl together. So, of course, there's an affinity there. There's a connection there with Jim Harbaugh. Quote here, I love Colin, but he's not going to be on the coaching staff, which is already set for this year. He's not going to be on the roster either. So he definitely killed that buzz. I personally think there's any talk about Kaepernick playing in the NFL after 8 years of absence, I just don't take it seriously. It's a joke.
Exactly. Yeah.
So he mentioned on this was just yesterday, actually, the interview. Apparently, there's I believe I read in another article that there's been a couple times where Harbaugh's reached out to Kaepernick for coaching opportunities, not just this year, where Kaepernick kind of just ghosts after a while. He's also done this in the past at Michigan. Over the last few years, he's wanted to get him in some way, shape, or form into coaching. So, just to follow up with the quote, he said, I have thought about that for a long time. Just the respect that I have for the football mind. Kaepernick turns 37 in November. And as I alluded to a little bit earlier, last time he's played an NFL game, January 1st, 2017. So, just kind of with that rundown, the whole speculation about Kaepernick getting on the coaching staff. Even people you watch First Take, they're Stephen A's talking about, oh, this is a great opportunity for him to get his foot in the door and coaching and maybe sneak onto as a backup quarterback for the Chargers. So, kind of what's your take on that, Will?
Well, I think first, just like you were saying, Stephen A said, I think the coaching thing, I think that's more realistic than him actually playing. You know what I'm saying? Because, I think working in college would have been a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Being a coach in college, he has played in the pros. He knows what it takes. You know what I'm saying? He could definitely probably mentor a young quarterback. Or just help out a quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Help out a coaching staff in general. But I just think it's like this chapter never ends. You know what I'm saying? It's like every year it's something. Last year it was he could potentially play with the Jets. You know what I'm saying? He wrote the little letter to the Jets after Rodgers went down. I just feel like, man, this chapter needs to be completely closed. And I mean, this dude, I didn't even know 37, bro. I didn't even know he was 37. Like
37
that's
this year.
insane. The fact that I don't really think he probably thinks he can play, but maybe there's some people around, like fans or whatnot, that still, oh, he got blackballed. Man, he could have went what? Didn't Dwayne Johnson have his own league? Doesn't he have his own league? XFL. He
Yeah,
could have went there.
XFL.
Yeah, he could have went there. He could have. He's had opportunities, man. He's had opportunities. So, and then thing is, too, let's be honest. Let's really dive into this. This dude was the same dude that said the NFL owners were slave owners. He sat there and said he got the payout. Remember, he got the payout like in 2019 settlement. Yeah, it's like, bro, come on, man. At this point, like, what are you doing? Come on, man. So I'm happy that Harbaugh shot it down. And I will say this. Last thing I will say is that I personally do feel like this with Harbaugh. I don't feel like he was saying that as like, because you know how some people, they want to attach their name to something to kind of get recognition from, certain people or certain communities, like, oh, he's looking out. But I think Harbaugh generally probably likes Colin Kaepernick. I mean, they did have success You know, they went to a
Mhm.
Super Bowl. Colin
Mhm.
Kaepernick obviously has best years under Harbaugh. So, and then the reason why Harbaugh got the job now, you know, in LA is, I mean, he did good in college, but he also did good in the pros. He's a proven pro
Mhm.
coach. So, you know, I think he probably generally was looking out for Colin Kaepernick, honestly. So I don't really like look at it as Harbaugh was just trying to, you know, be relevant or look out, you know, just try to get some, you know, clout off this. I think he's probably trying to really, you know, help Kaepernick out, especially as he was trying to get him a job in Michigan. It's like, bro, but I'm happy he shot it down, though. I'm happy he shot it down at the end of the day. He didn't let this linger on. You know what I'm saying? That's just a distraction.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I agree. You know, the sentiment out there that, like you mentioned, he's blackballed and
Yeah.
he's this and that and the kneeling, and that's why he's not in the NFL. Like you said, I mean, Kaepernick's not in the NFL because he didn't no longer want to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Even if he was remotely blackballed, which I don't even think that honestly was that much. I mean, he struggled in 2016. The
Yeah.
49ers as a whole played horrible. He didn't play very well. And he was essentially to me on a downward trend anyways, leading up to that last season for the 49ers. And by that point, he was 28, 29, going on 30. And, I think maybe even a lot of GMs felt that he capped out,
Yeah.
as a quarterback. But like you said, man, I believe he opted out of the 2017, or maybe he had some form of like a option to stay. And I
Hmm.
believe he opted out, but I'll definitely look into that. And then, like you mentioned, 2019, he had opportunities when it came to NFL creating something for him.
Yeah.
It's like they never did that. I know the waiver situation. I remember Max Kellerman was like, "Oh yeah, they gave him a completely different waiver that every other NFL team generally gives to someone trying out."
Hmm.
Oh, it was different. That's why Kaepernick and them changed up the plans and this, and that. But the reason why they gave him a completely brand new or new edition waivers because they were doing something that was completely unheard of. They had never generally the teams host workouts.
Yeah.
The NFL hosted this workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is a man that just sued them and won basically. Remember
Exactly,
that
bro.
was 28 late 2018 if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. 2019 was when the workout. So generally when you sue an employer sues a company, generally they're not going to want to work there at some point in the
Exactly. Yeah.
future.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
So it's like, bro, you sued them and they still gave you an opportunity.
Yeah.
You basically s- smacked the shit out of everybody's face that
Yeah.
was actually giving you the opportunity by pulling that last minute bullshit.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned if he wanted to play some football, there's XFL. I mean, I know that's tough from going to the Super Bowl to XFL and whatnot, but if he was that desperate as much as he says he is, you'd be getting any chance you could to get back on the field.
Exactly. I mean, well, think about the big three. You know what I'm saying? Look at Joe Johnson. Although it didn't last long. Well, I mean, like Joe Johnson actually got a try. I think he played for the Pistons for a little bit and then they ended up cutting him. But it's like, I could be wrong on that. But
Okay.
I'm saying he used that platform
Yeah,
to get back into the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And it's like with
exactly.
Colin Kaepernick, it's like, bro, you could have dominated. You know what I'm saying? If he's still that good. You know what I
He
mean?
was
So.
that, yeah, he was
Yeah,
that
and that
good.
definitely would have gone back in the NFL. Like at the end of the day, you know, but it's crazy you brought up the blackball because I used to honestly think that I thought he did kind of get blackballed, but now the more I think about it, I mean, it's just like we talked about with Kyrie and Carmelo. It's like, well, really Carmelo. It's like once that talent goes away and people already don't like you, they're gonna be done with you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you stay talented, like we've seen with Kyrie, you stay talented, someone's gonna take a gamble on you.
Right.
Someone
Yeah, they're
will
gonna take a
pick you up.
chance.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, at the end of the day, man, like you just see this. You see that we saw this with Tim Tebow. Like if your talent's not there, you'll get your chances, but after a while, people are gonna be like, "All right, you're getting older. We could probably just find a younger player that can actually do a little better."
Hmm.
It's whatever. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, man. He like you said, that's crazy. He sued them, and they still gave him a chance. Like imagine me quitting a job and then trying to go back, or them even like reaching out to me. They'd be like, "Nah, bro, it's over." Saying like. That's why I was saying with the blackball, like he didn't get blackballed, bro. Because if you get blackballed, you don't come back. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually were giving him ready to give him an opportunity. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's just crazy, man. That's
Crazy.
really crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and still, like I mentioned very early on in this episode, he's still talking about how in shape he still is and his burning desire to
Yeah,
get back. It's 2024. This dude's still whining about it. So
yeah,
as you
that's
can see here, during the Olympics, he told Britain's Sky Sport News that he's still training. So he's still, I'm still working out. I'm still doing my drills, all that good stuff. Quote, it's something I've trained my whole life for. So to be able to step back on the field, I think that would be a major moment, a major accomplishment for me. I think I could bring a lot to a team and help them win a championship.
bro. That's delusion. That's straight
End
delusion.
quote.
That is
And
delusion.
that's just a couple weeks ago he said this, like
Yeah.
2 weeks ago probably.
That's but if you kind of notice the pattern has been it's always at the beginning of the season because towards the end or actually once we hit the mid season end of the season we don't hear Kaepernick stuff. It always starts at the beginning. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
Like,
true.
but yeah, man. Like I said, I think they need to just close this chapter, bro. It's
And I'm like,
they got to close this chapter, man. Like I mean, the NFL basically has. I guess he needs to kind of close the chapter. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
they
man. Talking about, I think I could bring a lot to a team and help them win a champion.
yeah.
Bro, 2016, bro, we was finishing college.
That's funny. That's what I was thinking about because I remember when he started doing the kneeling. I remember I was working at the Y, and that's when he grew out
Yeah,
the afro and all that. And people were I
yeah.
was talking to a coworker about it, and like I was like, "Dang, bro!" Like because
Started growing the
I can't.
fro.
What do you say?
I know. I was saying, yeah. Started growing the fro.
Yeah, I just remember that. I remember just being like, "Dang, man, this dude like he was." I think he got benched at that time. Didn't he get benched at that time, or he was like, was he on the bench
I
or?
think. I think I'd have to double check. I believe he started most of the season, but I think he did get
Yeah,
benched.
I think he got benched at least
I
one
think he
game or
got
so.
benched, started again, may have got
Yeah,
benched again
yeah.
throughout the rest of the season.
But the narrative was it's because he was doing all this and the owners were mad and whatnot. But it's like when you
Mhm.
look at the stats, he was starting to suck. You know what I'm saying? Like he was definitely starting to suck. So it's like that's why I said the black ball and all that. I kind of believe that too. But then it's like you look at the stats, you look at the NFL trying to get him back in there, even Harbaugh reaching out for college. It's like, nah, man, that's not
You
black
don't
ball.
want, yeah, you
That's
don't want to.
yeah.
Look at this. So he was 29-16 with Harbaugh, and then after in 2014 when Harbaugh left to Michigan, that means that 14, 15, and 16 in 3 seasons he went 3-17.
And that's like, yeah, that's only what? That's 16. That was only what, 4 years removed from a Super Bowl. So
Yeah, 16. Yeah, they went 2012.
yeah. Yeah, man. That's like
So
I said, man,
you only win 3 out of your next 20.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, because I do remember like they were on a downward. I do remember them starting to lose because I was like, man, they were just in the Super Bowl and now they're starting to lose all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Like,
he started.
and at that point, NFL, man, like they'll get rid of you quick. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing some shenanigans. I mean, look at Antonio Brown, bro. Like I mean, remember people were saying he may have been like statistically the greatest receiver. Did you ever hear that? Where
Yeah, I
people were
used to
saying
hear that.
statistically he may have been the greatest receiver.
I
He's
heard that.
you know what I'm saying?
He had
So
a crazy apex.
yeah, exactly. So it's
Crazy
like
apex.
that just shows, man, if I feel like the NFL owners are way stricter than NBA owners, man. So it's like they're only going to put up with so much. If that
Yeah.
talent starts going down, they're really going to be done.
Mhm. I
So
mean, shit, look what they did with Josh Gordon. And the
that's
prime, he was
oh,
like
bro.
23 when they started
Right.
suspending. Imagine the NBA. They would have just gave him a little fake interview about how like they did with Ja Morant and Jalen Rose.
Yep.
Suspend him for a month or two, and then he's right back out there.
Yep. Yeah, and I remember Josh Gordon because I remember on Fantasy I was always trying to get him, bro.
Yeah, he
I
won
remember that.
me. He won me a ring back in
Yeah, I could believe it.
2013.
Yeah, I could definitely believe
2013.
it.
Yeah, he helped me get a ring.
But yeah, man, I mean, I just think Kaepernick, bro. I mean, he's got to call quits on this. But you look at it too, which at the time he was doing all this stuff, it was the peak of what was going on, you know what I'm saying, with everything.
BLM.
Yeah, with BLM. So it's like maybe he's still kind of stuck in that because it was at the peak. He was kind of one of the faces of it. He was getting a lot of clout off it. You know what I'm saying? Even with the settlement, I kind of felt like I felt like that was the NFL kind of being like, yo, we don't want to be the racist guys. So
Yeah, the racist white
you know what
billionaires.
I'm saying? I felt like
Give him
even
some
with that,
hush money so you can shut up.
exactly, yeah. Then he wrote his book, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
he rolls around, it's like still peak of it, and now it's like that whole stuff is over.
And I'm assuming he's still with Nike.
Yeah, actually, I think he is. I remember like a couple months ago, I was looking at
So he
shirts.
getting the bread. He ain't trying
Yeah,
to come back to the NFL. He getting more money now, probably.
yeah,
Shit.
they had his face on some shirts on Nike. So I was
Yeah.
shocked at Nike. Well, not really shocked at Nike at this point. I was just like,
Not
oh,
Nike.
I was just like, I was like, bro, they're still promoting this, although this dude hasn't played, hasn't really done anything. Like, no, man. I always think of this too, bro. Not to rant on, but I just think this is also a bad like that whole stuff is kind of bad for kids to see. You know what I'm saying? Like athletes now, young kids now, because it's like you're talking about the victim. It's like to be the ultimate victim. Like you're talking about the hush money and all that stuff. It's like opportunities like this that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? This is not like a normal thing. Like, this is the only example I know of someone suing their employer and then still taking money from them for someone to
Yeah.
get back with their employer, calling them slaves and still get an
Yeah,
opportunity.
and still getting an opportunity. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like modern day slavery.
exactly. So it's like I just feel like kid wise, it's like imagine the kids growing up seeing this. It's like maybe they think like, oh, okay, I could do this, or that happens. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just hope the Colin Kaepernick stuff. I hope this is the last year we hear of it. Honestly, I hope.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, it's almost been a decade.
I know that's what I was thinking too. When you said 20, last time was 2017, which I thought was 2016. I guess
Was
the beginning of the
January for it's
season.
still, the regular
Yeah,
season leaks into it. Yeah.
yeah. But I was thinking that too. I was like, man, 2 years. It's been a decade since this dude has played, bro. And he'll be close to 40. And hopefully he's still not talking about I can go out there and win somebody a championship or help someone win a championship.
Yeah, win a championship.
You know what I'm saying? He just needs to get on a coaching staff. That's the best. Or I would say be an analyst, but I don't think he wants to talk about sports. So who knows what he wants to talk about.
All right. There you have it. Episode 2 in the books. If you made it this far in the video, we deeply appreciate it. We got more episodes to come, man. We got topics all over. Football season's coming up. NBA, not too far after. But, I mean, if you're a sports fan, there's always topics you can bring up. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.
Cheat.
The famous cheat.